Hey all, good evening. Welcome to the day 5, the last day of Techizan Startup Bootcamp. So today we're going to be learning about the basic marketing for entrepreneurs. So today we'll see the agenda of what we're going to be learning today. And the first one we'll be learning about introduction to marketing, what is marketing at a very basic level. And second we'll be learning about the 7 P's of marketing. We'll learn about developing a marketing strategy and how to write a marketing strategy, pricing strategies, and writing a marketing plan. So this is going to be agenda for today. So let's move on to the first topic, that is introduction to marketing. So what is marketing at a very basic level? So the marketing is a process of planning and executing the conception, the pricing, the promotion, and distribution of your ideas. Let it be the goods and services to satisfy the need of individual consumers or organization. That is, if you're working on a B2C or B2B. So every business need to successfully market their products and services, and marketing is a critical tool for establishing awareness, attracting new customers, and building long-lasting relationships. So when marketing is done effectively, marketing can help you increase sales and establish your competitive advantage in the market. So today customers are spoiled for choices. So marketing uses communication and advertising tactics to persuade and influence your customers that your brand, including your products and services, are exactly what they need and exactly what which is which solve the problems. And even through you are marketing your brand, every aspect of a marketing strategy should focus on satisfying the current and future needs of your customers. So your approach to marketing will inform your sales technique. So communication and collaboration with all your teams, irrespective of which team is critical, and everyone in your organization should have some ownership in your marketing campaigns. So marketing is a crucial aspect of your business and requires research, time, planning, and appropriate budget allocations. So this boot camp, this session, we're going to be learning about what is marketing, and we'll move on to the next thing, that is the 7 P's of marketing. So you must have heard about the 4 P's of marketing, but this we're going to be learning about the 7 P's of marketing. So moving on to the first P is product. So the 7 P's are actually set to recognize marketing tactics which you can use in any combination to satisfy the customers in a target market. So the 7 P's are controllable but subject to your internal and external marketing environments. So combining these different marketing tactics to meet your customers' needs and what is known as tactical marketing mix. So this 7 P's of marketing is also called as the tactical marketing mix of your company. So the first P, that is product. Product refers to what you are selling, including all of the benefits, features, advantages that your customers can enjoy from buying your goods or services. So, when marketing a product, you need to think about the key features and benefit your customers want or need, including quality, repairs, customer relationships. So, you can use research and development to inform the development of new products in your business when you think about product. So, that is the first P. Moving on, the second P is price. So, this refers to the pricing strategy of your products and service and how it will affect your customers. You should identify how much your customers are prepared to pay, how much markup you need to cater for overheads, your profit margins and payment methods, and other costs. So, to attract customers and retain your competitive advantage, you may also wish to consider the possibility of discount and seasonal pricing. So, moving on to the second P, third P is promotion. So these are promotional activities you use to make your customers aware of your product or service, including promotion may include advertising, sales tactics, promotions, direct marketing. So generally these are referred to marketing tactics. So moving on to the next P is place. So place is where the products and service are seen. That is a channel. So the place where your products are made, sold, distributed. Access for customers for your product is key and is important to ensure that customers can find you. So you can set yourself apart from the competition through the design of your retail space and by an effective virtual merchandising technique. If you're not a retail business, still it is important for your marketing, uh, for putting place in your marketing. Your customers may need a quick delivery turnaround or want to buy locally manufactured product. So if you're starting a new business, finding the right business location and place will be the key marketing tactic you need. Moving on to the next P is people. So people refer to the staff and salesperson who work for your business, including yourself. And when you provide an external customer service, you create a positive aesthetic, a positive experience for your customers, and in doing so, in doing so, you will market your brand to them. So, in turn, existing customers may spread the word, or your word of mouth you will increase, and uh, they will spread the word about your excellent service, and you can win high paying referrals. So give your business a competitive advantage by recruiting the right people, training staff to develop their skills, and retaining good staff. That is all about people. Moving on to the next P, the sixth P is process. So process refer to the processes involved in delivering your products and service to the customers. It is also being easy to do business with. So having a good process in place ensure that you repeatedly develop the same standard of service to your customers and save time and money by increasing efficiency. So the last P is physical evidence. So physical evidence refers to everything your customers see when interacting with your business. So physical evidence, in another word, you can also call as branding. So this includes the physical environment where you provide the product or service, the layout or interior designing, your packaging, your branding, everything comes in a physical evidence. So physical evidence can also refer to your staff, like how they dress, their personal brand, how they talk. So everything comes in a physical evidence. So consider how your store layouts or fixtures or signages can build your brand and increase your sales. That is all about the 7 P's of marketing. So that is product, promotion, place, people, process, physical, and price. So this is the 7 P's of marketing. So now we'll move on to the next section in our presentation. That is all about how to develop a marketing strategy. So what is a marketing strategy? So effective marketing strategy it starts with a considered well-informed marketing strategy. So a good marketing strategy help you define clear, realistic, and measurable marketing objectives for your business. So your marketing strategy affects the way you run the business. So it should be planned and developed in consulting with your team as a whole. It is a wide-reaching and comprehensive strategic tool that describes your business and and its products and service. It explains the position and role of your products. It profiles your customers. It helps you to make your ICP, its ideal customer profile. So it helps you to identify the marketing tactics you will use. It allows you to build a marketing plan, and it allows you to measure its effectiveness. Effectiveness are different channels you use to attract customers. A marketing strategy sets an overall direction and overall goal for your marketing, and therefore different from your marketing plan. So marketing strategy is different, which outlines the specific actions you will take to implement your marketing strategy. So your marketing strategy could be developed for the next few years, or the next 3 months, 6 months. It's all about your strategy. While your marketing plan usually describes tactics to be achieved in the current year, that is fiscal year. So that is all about the introduction about marketing strategy. And next we'll move on to how to write a marketing strategy. That is, we'll go on to the 8 steps involved in writing a marketing strategy. That is, the first one we'll learn about is identifying your business goals. That is the first one, identify your business goals. So your well-defined marketing strategy will help you to realize your business goals and focus on the action required to reach the right customers. So developing a marketing strategy that includes the components, that is the 8 components that is here to help you to focus on the right marketing investment, keep your marketing focused towards your customers, and measure and improve your sales result. That is all about this, making a successful marketing strategy. Moving on to the first one, identifying your business goals. So align your marketing strategy to the business goals outlined in your business plan. You can define them. You could define a set of marketing goals to support them. So your business goals might include increasing awareness of your product or service, selling more products from a certain supplier, or reaching a new customer segment. So when setting goal, it is critical to be targeted as possible, as you can effectively measure the outcomes against what you set out to achieve. So a simple criteria or simple tool for goal setting is a SMART method. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So your goal should be SMART. So S stands for specific. You have to clearly state what you want to achieve. That is specific. Measure, set tangible measurements so you can measure your results. A stands for achievable. Sets objective that are within the capacity and budget of your caliber. R stands for relevant. Set objectives that will help you improve the particular aspect of your business. T stands for time bound. Set objectives that you can achieve within the time you need. That is all about smart goals. So when you set goals for your marketing strategy, you have to make sure it is smart. That is a simple tool. And the next one is state your marketing goals. That is second step of your marketing strategy is state your marketing goals. So uh, define a set of marketing goals based on your business goals. So these goals will uh, motivate you and your team to enable you to track of success. So example of marketing goals includes increased marketing penetration, that is selling more products to existing customers, or market development, selling existing products to a new target market. So it may be any of these two. It may be market penetration or market development. So these marketing goals may be could be a long term or a short term, or it might take a few years to achieve successful. However, they should be clear and concise and measurable, and have time frames for achievement, and don't make sure to validate it. So make sure your overall strategies are practical and measurable. As we talked about before, the good marketing strategy will not change every year but revised when your strategy have been achieved or your marketing goals have been met. You may need to amend your strategy if your external marketing changes due to a new competitor or new technology, or if your product substantially changes. That is all about the second part. Moving on to the third step, that is state, that is research your market. So research is an essential part of your marketing strategy. You need to gather information about your market. So if you have attended the second day two of our startup bootcamp, you may have learned about the marketing research process. So you have to gather information about the market, such as the size of the market, the growth of the market, the social trends, the demographics. It is important to keep an eye out on your market so you're aware of any changes over time, so your strategy remains relevant and targeted. So when we talk about social trends, you can go for Google Trends to analyze the information. And moving on to the next part, that is profile your potential customers. So use your market research to develop a profile of your customers you are targeting and identify their needs. So yesterday, the day two, we've learned about what is ICP, what is ideal customer profile. The link is in the bio. You can see the session. So the customer profile will reveal their buying patterns. However, you know where they are buying, their buying patterns. So will they buy again? So again, regularly reviewing these trends so you don't miss out any new opportunities or become irrelevant with your marketing message. So when you try to find new customers, make sure your marketing strategy also allows you to maintain relationship with your existing customers. So that's the sixth part. And moving on to the next is profile your customers, profile your competitors. So similarly, as a part of a market strategy, you should develop a profile of your competitors by identifying their products, their supply chain, their pricing, their marketing tactics. So use this to identify your competitive advantage. What sets your business apart from your competitors? You may also want to identify the strength and weakness of your own internal processes to help improve your performance compared with your competition. That is called benchmarking. So moving on to the next process is develop strategies to support your marketing goals. So here, list your target markets and devise a set of strategies to attract and retain them. An example could be an example, a goal could be to increase the young people's awareness of your products. So your corresponding strategy could be to increase your online social media presence by posting organically about your products on Instagram or Facebook, or advertising in local magazine targeted to your target customers, or offering a discount to students. So that is the sixth part. And moving on to the next second is uh, use the 7 P's of marketing. So we learned about the 7 P's of marketing in the last section. So you reach your selected market by utilizing the 7 P's of marketing mix. If you choose to choose the right combination of marketing across product, price, people, promotion, process, and physical evidence, your marketing strategy is more likely to be successful. You can choose any combination of these to achieve your marketing strategy. And the last one is test your ideas. So in deciding your tactics, do some online research, test some ideas and approaches your customers or your staff and review what works. So you can use anything like moment marketing, guerrilla marketing. You can use any of the new ideas. So you need to choose a number of tactics in order to meet your customers' need, reach the customers within your target market, and improve your sales result. That is all about the how to develop a marketing strategy. So first one, we've learned about first the part is you have to identify your business goals, and we have to state your marketing goals, and then we have to research your market, and then we have to profile your potential customers. You have to profile your competitors. You have to develop strategies. We have to use a 7 piece of marketing, and then we have to test your ideas. That is all about the 8 step process of writing a successful marketing strategy. So that's it for the section. We'll move on to the next section, that is pricing strategies. So, your overall pricing strategy will depend on what type of demand there is for your product or service. So, understanding different pricing strategies will help you to decide which strategy or combination of strategies is more effective for your business. So, yeah. So the first, moving on to the pricing strategies, we'll talk about the factors which are affecting the demand, which may have a crucial aspect in deciding your strategy. So the demand of your product or service may be elastic or inelastic. So what is elastic or inelastic? So if your demand is elastic, a change in pricing has a significant effect on the demand. That is, if you increase a price, your customers may not choose to buy the product. So if that's the case, your demand is elastic. On the other hand, we have if your demand is inelastic, a price change have a little effect on the demand. That is, if the demand is inelastic, your customers will still buy your product regardless of your price. So that is, you have to identify whether your market is elastic or inelastic. That is, you have to do this research in your market research phase. So elasticity of the market is dependent on a number of factors, including is there a product necessary or luxury? That is, if our product is medication or fine dining, we have to know the difference. So, are there any substitutes available for for your product? Uh, for example, if rice is not available, customers could buy potatoes instead. So you have to uh, make sure, do you have any substitute available for your product? And third one, are there any complementary products uh, or demand which is grown up for your product? You have to know whether you have to make sure that you have to go through the factors before you analyze whether your market is elastic or inelastic. So that's all about the factors. We'll move on to the pricing strategies. So we have around 8 pricing strategies. We have a lot of strategies, but in this session we'll look about the 8 strategies. So yeah, the first the first one we're going to be talking about is cost-based pricing. So a strategy that adds a small markup or margin to the cost of producing your offer. So if the cost of producing or manufacturing a product is $1, you will be selling it to $1.5. That is cost-based pricing. So ensure that when you costing, you factor in all the fixed and variable costs. You have to, if the total cost of manufacturing your product includes including the variable and fixed cost is $1, then you will sell that product to $1.5 for making $0.5 of profit. So that is called cost-based pricing. And the next strategy we're going to look about is charge per hour. So it is a commonly used by service-based business and contractors. So the per hour cost hour in all the business card includes the wages and the overheads. And then the next strategy is skimming price. So this is often used for new products or service, especially the technology where the product is deemed largely and high quality. So the initial price is set high and attracts early adopters, and who want the product or service now are willing to pay. So when this group is satisfied, the price is reduced to appeal more price sensitive customers. So price skimming is so clear. So here, when you enter the market, you will initially set the price as high to attract early adopters. So early adopters are a stage you learn about in the innovation cycle. So when you attract the early adopters who want the product as service now, they will pay for the product, and then if that group is satisfied, you'll reduce the price to make the product more appealing to price sensitive customers. That is all about the skimming price strategy. And the next strategy is penetration pricing. So this aims for higher sales through a lower price, so often used for product or service or experience that would not attract an elite market. So this discourages customers because of a low profit margin. So a large target market and large volume of sales are needed to meet profit goals. So market penetration is if your competitors are putting up your price for $10, you will when you enter the market you will put for $1. That is penetration pricing, going for a lower price. So the next strategy is image or premium pricing. So the perceived image is more important to a customer than the actual price. That is a luxury car that sells for as much as a house. So marketing should target the high end of the market and communicate the luxury and offer. So customers are willing to pay top dollar because of the value they place on the product. That is premium pricing. And the next strategy we have discount pricing. So this discount pricing aimed at the budget end of the market where people are willing to forego some quality or service for a lower price. They are looking for a lower price irrespective of the quality. So discounting is a difficult strategy to use in long term because you will not make any profit in the long run. So sales volume must be consistently high to maintain good profit levels. So that is all about discount pricing. That is keeping your price at a very lower level, ignoring the quality. So next one is loss leaders. So a product or service are sold at low price where you make little profit or in some cases a loss. So this heavily discounted item should entice new customers to visit your business. While they buy the loss leader, they may also purchase other products or service with a higher margin in your product line. That is all about the loss leader. And yeah, we'll move on to the next. That is flexible pricing. So what is flexible pricing is often business will employ flexible pricing model to meet the business and consumer needs. So this may add value to your offer. Use dynamic pricing based on seasonal demands, providing bulk purchase discounts, loyalty discounts, or through negotiating with key customers. So if you sell to multiple products, like if you are exporting your product to different countries, flexible pricing is your strategy. Different strategy with different pricing for different countries. So however, remember that if you sell via internet, customers will able to buy your online pricing wherever they are provided you ship to that area. That is all about flexible pricing. And yeah, that's all about the pricing strategies. So first one is cost-based pricing, charge per hour, skimming pricing, penetration pricing, image or premium pricing, discount price, loss leader, and pricing strategies and flexible strategies. So that's all about the pricing strategies, and we'll move on to the next section in our PPT, that is creating a marketing plan. So how to create a marketing plan? So yeah, a good marketing plan is driven by your marketing strategy and it's the execution. So the roadmap of tactical marketing actions that will help you to grow your business. So taking the time to develop a well-informed, thoughtful marketing plan will take the guesswork out of your marketing. So keep your activities targeted at the right markets in the right way to and help you measure success. So this will form part of your business plan. So a marketing plan consists of two parts. The first part is a summary of marketing goals and objectives, your marketplace, and the tactics you want to require to achieve your marketing strategy. And the second part we have the action plan. So how you will use to implement each marketing tactic. So that is the two parts of your marketing plan. And your marketing plan should reflect the work you and your team have done to develop your marketing strategy. You can also use your marketing strategies as headings to organize your marketing plan and then list the specific tactics and actions that supports each of your marketing strategies. That is the quick introduction about it. And yeah, the first one you have to do is you have to describe your marketplace and customers. So the market research you undertook when developing your marketing strategy will help you understand and improve your business competitive advantage in your target market. So summarize the results of the market and customer research you have done in the second part to undertook and develop a marketing strategy. So in your market research section of your marketing plan should include and should include your overview of your customers demographics including age, gender, occupation, lifestyle, buying trends, and assumption you have made about your market. Assumptions based on the market research, don't take assumption as such. You have to have a valid data backing for your assumptions. You have to have a brief description of the impact you anticipate in the current or future market conditions. A SWOT analysis, we have learned about the SWOT analysis in this second day. SWOT analysis of your business strength, weakness, opportunity, threats to understand any obstacle that may arise in the roadmap. And then after describing your marketplace and your customers, you have to define your target audience. So this is a detailed version of your preferred market segments, the demographics, the psychographics, need for your product or service or experience, their buying patterns, and know how your USP can reach their needs. And after that, you have to explore competitive advantage, know who your competitors are, and how you can do better service than them to your customers. And then you have to use SWOT analysis. So you may also wish to identify strategies to capitalize on your strength and work on your weaknesses. So address your weakness, increase your opportunities, and minimize your threats. So when you do your SWOT analysis, the main thing you have to do is you have to capitalize on your strength, address your weakness, increase your opportunity, and minimize your threat. So that is the only thing, only reason why we are doing SWOT analysis. So for example, you could write a sales plan for training your employees or develop a sales plan to focus on new product sales in an emerging market. So at the last you can do or you can outline the sales target. So outline the sales target and forecast for your product and service. Also take the time to identify the USP that supports your product or service, your sales target, which is expressed in numbers, and the forecasting sales you anticipate as a result of your marketing plan will be invaluable when you need to measure the success of your marketing results. So that is all about the creating a marketing plan section and the end of this session. So we'll go run a quick run through of what we've learned in this session. Yeah. First, we've learned about what is marketing, and then we've learned about the 7 P's of marketing, that is product, promotion, place, people, process, physical evidence, and price. And then we've learned about how to develop a marketing strategy, and then we've learned about how to write a marketing strategy. So when you write a marketing strategy, first one, you have to identify your business goals. So your goals must be a SMART method. So goal setting. So SMART is a tool used for goal setting. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And then we learned about stating your marketing goals, researching a market. You have to profile your customers, profile your competitors. Profiling competitors, in other words, it's called benchmarking. And you have to develop strategies to support a marketing plan, use the 7 P's of marketing, and then testing your ideas. And that is all about how to write a marketing strategy. And then we've learned about pricing strategies and why it is important in a marketplace. And we've learned about cost-based pricing, charge per hour, skimming price, penetration pricing, image pricing, discount pricing, loss leaders, and flexible pricing. So these are the 8 types of pricing strategies that we've discussed in this session. And then we learned about how to create a marketing plan. So how to create a marketing plan through describing your marketplace and your customers, defining your target audience, exploring the competitive advantage, using SWOT analysis, and outlining sales target. And yeah, hope you guys had a I hope you guys learned a new or a very basic level of marketing, like how marketing and marketing plan works. And that's the end of our session today. So if you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat box. We can have a chat before we end this session. And thank you guys for participating in the day 5, the last day of our Techison Startup Bootcamp. And see you in another bootcamp. Thank you.